Patrick is the can you hear me? Am I frozen? Okay, I just heard some weird feedback. Anyway, Patrick is the digital project and archives librarian at Middlebury College. And he's a specialist in digital archives preservation and information organization with a radical streak, dedicated by vocation to the work of equipping people with resources and techniques necessary to engage with the information economy on their own terms. He is a passionate supporter of minimal computing, free and low-cost tools, recycled technology, and promiscuous digital collections. And with this particular project at Middlebury, Middlebury has been using From the Page to crowdsource transcription from a wide range of letters and manuscripts from the 19th and 20th centuries that's held in their collection on the Internet Archive. Using IIIF and some simple scripts, they've been able to enrich their item records with full text transcriptions from the page en masse at very little cost in terms of money, time, and labor. And I will let Patrick tell you more about that.
All right, sorry, I think the feedback's my fault. I'm not sure my gain levels are set correctly. Well, I will start by, I guess I can share my screen. There we go. So we at Middlebury, we can keep all of our digital archival content in Internet Archive. Internet Archive acts as our repository. The first thing I wanted to show was a tool that archive.org maintains. I put the link also in the notes for the Internet Archive Python library. We rely on this for all of our management, really. And the key thing that this does is it provides a Python library to interact with the Internet Archive API, and also has a command line tool that allows for bulk uploading objects and doing metadata changes via CSV files. So our integrations with From the Page are a combination of using IIIF manifests to import collections into From the Page, and then kind of working with files taken from the export side of From the Page to generate new CSV files that then get pushed to Internet Archive to do metadata changes. The basic process is creating collections. Ben had provided a Ruby script that generated Internet Archive manifests from Internet Archive collections. I kind of ported that and made some changes to put it into Python to let me create manifests from an arbitrary list of items. I don't have that up in GitHub because I'm not super confident in my Python ability, and don't want to break anybody's stuff, and two, I have just been lazy about GitHub lately. But it's pretty simple. So once the collection's created and From the Page, I watch it roughly quarterly or whenever there's a lot of new transcription coming in. I will export the work metadata sheet from the Page export interface, and export verbatim plain text files, the one per item option for the whole collection. So I end up with, from the work metadata sheet, I kind of limit that to the slug column and the original IIIF manifest column for those two URLs. I then have a script that matches the From the Page slug with an IA identifier, rename the text file to the IA identifier, create a CSV column that has two columns. One's the Internet Archive identifier, which is required for the API tool, and the other one is the transcription, the contents of each text file wrapped in a pre-format HTML tag. And then the tool pushes those to each item record, along with uploading the original text file as a new file within that object. And so from an untranscribed item looks like this, which is a letter from Emma Willard to Jonathan Allen, Emma Willard being a famous American educator. When things get created, the script that does the IIIF manifest also puts this little note in that says, help us out with transcription, visit from the page, gives the from the page link, and then a direct link to the item. And then, so that goes to the item. Then when we export it, it ends up, oh, it also strips that out when we re-upload it. So the transcript comes out pre-formatted, which still breaks because this is a restricted column width for the display, but having the transcription in the metadata field is really just to facilitate full text searching. And full text searching via Internet Archive's metadata view. Working with Internet Archive as our repository gets a little bit hacky, but it works very well for the most part. It adds in a little note that says there is a full text transcript available by selecting the text download option, and that's there. This one still has the pre-format tags because it's from an earlier version of the script. Those get stripped out. Again, it creates two versions of the file. The pre-formatted one just gets put into the CSV file for the metadata, and the original text file doesn't have those pre-format tags in the new version. And that's essentially it. Let's see if I can share. I do have, if anyone's interested, I'm happy to share the code for, why is my stop sharing button not working? If I try, there we go. If anyone's interested in the code, I'm happy to share it. It looks like this. It's super simple. It uses the CSV library that's, I think, bundled with Python. If it's not, it's installable via pip easily. JSON, and then system calls just for the variables. Yeah, and that is our whole process.